Hi everybody and welcome to Yoga with Anna here at the Church PCS&M, People's Congregation of Thinkers and Movers. It's so nice to be back. It's hump day and we are having some crazy weather. I think I saw some hail coming in, like little bits of ice, and it's pouring out. So it's a nice day to get some stretches in. But this weather also may bring some soreness about the body and the joints and stuff. Sometimes that wet dampness can aggravate our bodies. Isn't that incredible how how even weather affects us, whether hot, cold. But I do hear a lot of the complaints when the weather is damp and how that feels in the body isn't always necessarily feeling great. So before we get into our practice, I want to thank our members who are here joining us today. So welcome. It's so nice to have company in the studio. And thanks, Joe, for being our cameraman. Stepping in. Today, I think our crew is in Boston doing some work to support the Green Network providers. So we'll send them love and energy. Coming into the work that they're doing and all the work that they do to support plant medicine through the Green Network providers. So let's start by today. So tonight is Matt's midweek vibes check in the evening. So that is at, 7 to 9. So come. Where he does some sound healing and breath work. And if you can't make it to today's yoga, the evening is a wonderful way to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with your breath as well. So it's so awesome that we have options. And then Friday we have Sandy teaching us a yoga class. So Friday's group will be led by Sandy, and I'm so excited. I will be here, and I hope you are too, to have her guide us into a beautiful sequence that she has prepared for us. Yay! All right, and then, of course, Soul Saturday, where we have DJ Casserock. Did I say that right?
Case Rock.
Case Rock. Oh, I'm saying like a last name. Sorry. Case Rock. Awesome. I've never heard him, so I'll have to come by on Saturday and congregate with you guys in our music sacrament. So welcome, and it's really so nice to be here. Today, the topic has been low back pain. How many of us experience low back pain? Yes, all the hands went up. I know. It's what is it with the low back? So have you ever reached for something and thrown your back out, and then all of a sudden you're like, or you go to bend over, or you've been sitting for long periods of time. So many things can affect the lower back, even minimal movements. And I think that the reason is we often forget how many things we put our bodies through from the time we're very young to now. Lots of things have happened. So that's including like just minor things, tripping and falling, spraining an ankle, trauma to the body, emotional trauma, all of that gets stuck in the body. So it's not just one thing necessarily that can aggravate. Let's say you are in aggravation, or the body is building up all these things, and then something happens that's an obvious aggravation to the body, and we blame that particular thing to, yes, aggravating the body, or whatever that part of the body may be that is coming into play and speaking in pain. But then we forget about all those things that we've done in the past that have led up to this point where now your body is not going to give. So when we come to this threshold, it's like an Instapot of a collection of all the traumas that we have experienced, whether they're physical or emotional. And you gotta excuse my voice because I got a little frog in my throat, so if I all of a sudden need to reach for my water. That's what's going on there. I have stuff going on too. So the Instapot of all of these things that happen to us from the time we are young, because those things matter too, to now, are an accumulation where it begins our body, this vessel or Instapot, begins to accumulate pressure and pressure and pressure every time something happens, and then maybe you go to reach for something in the refrigerator and something gives. You start to feel pain. You start to feel pain not just in that moment, but pain that you begin to carry in your body. So it's an accumulation of all these things. Now, how do we reduce when the pressure has given and we are in this pain threshold? So we have lots of options, but a lot of us live in chronic pain every day. And that pain can be from a 2 or a 1 to a 10. And every day is going to look different because the weather's going to affect it. Whatever you're doing that day is going to affect it. Whatever emotions, too, you go through are also going to affect pain. So in today's practice, we're going to address some of that lower back pain and stretch our lower backs out. But what I also want you to think about is, yes, it's our lower back, but everything in our body is interconnected. So awareness of where that pain may be coming from, and it may be pain that is felt throughout the back, throughout the triangle of muscles. It could be nerve pain that's stretching in, but this pain or these things that are happening in the low back also stem from the brain, right? The brain stem is where we interpret pain. So depending on where you're feeling the pain, if it's on the right side, your brain stem is interpreting the pain on the left side. So opposite, or left side, right side. So sometimes if you're that's what's beautiful about yoga, if you're experiencing it on both sides or one side. And yoga, we're moving both hemispheres of the body. That's going to help alleviate a lot of the pain and swelling too. So just stretching out and also using your breath, your mindset, your energy to bring it wherever you need today, to bring some relief to your mind, your body, and spirit. So we're going to start on our backs. So I'm going to invite you to come to your backs. Lie down. I'm going to carry you through my voice. Finding a comfortable position on your back where you can support your head with a blanket or bring any kind of support that you may need or feel that you need. Extend the legs long, inviting you to soften your gaze or close your eyes, bring your arms by your side, or place your hands wherever you feel you might need that love coming from your hands, maybe on your belly or your heart or just by your side. I'm going to invite you to begin to feel your breath move through your body as it travels in the nose and out through the nose. And if you're feeling a little bit congested, ease your breath however it feels comfortable to you. If breathing through the mouth feels a little bit more comfortable, that's okay too. Feel the earth support your body. Maybe just noticing how you're breathing at the moment. Let your toes fall open. And without changing anything, beginning to bring the awareness to your breath. How it feels, maybe how it's letting the chest rise as the breath comes in. Noticing how the chest falls and the belly falls as the breath exits the body. When you're ready, bring the awareness to your intention. Why are you here? What would you like to see blossom from this practice? Maybe it's just relaxation, maybe it's pain relief, maybe it's just awareness. Yoga is awareness. You are in the right place at the right time. You are safe and loved and supported. Let that intention travel through your entire body. Breathe it in. And then maybe on your exhales, feeling you need to let anything go to create space for what you want to bring in. Give yourself the permission to let go of anything that isn't serving you. Detaching yourself from what you may be grasping for that isn't serving you. And through the breath, creating the energy to bring in what does serve. Through the breath, inviting pain relief. Through the breath, inviting the inflammation to go away, to lessen. Through the breath, creating more love, more spaciousness for yourself. On the next breath, really take that breath in. Feel that breath travel all the way down to your toes. On the exhale, let that breath travel up the spine through the crown. Lengthen through the crown. Maybe lengthening the arms, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe taking the palms up. Draw the breath, bring it down to your toes. Exhale, draw it all the way up through the spine. Lengthen through the crown. And at the same time, feeling the support underneath your body. Creating that safety On the next breath, we're going to gently lift the arms up over the head as comfortable as it is for you, reaching as far as it feels good, and coming to a full body stretch. A few breaths here as you lengthen the entire body. Maybe one arm reaches longer and then the other. And then as you reach, bring the awareness to the shoulder blades and bring those blades down towards the mat. On the next breath, arms are going to reach for the knees. Let's bring the knees to chest. Whether you wrap your arms around your knees or hands on tops of the knees, a gentle rock side to side. Movement can be minimal or as fluid as you want that movement to be. And then let's bring the hands to the knees and gentle circles, massaging the lumbar spine. Lower back massage. And then take it in the opposite direction when you're ready to go there. And then let's take the hands to the front of the knees. Gently bring the knees to the opposite sides, opening up the hips. Let your hands be the weights on your legs, allowing those hips to gently open. Or you could flex the feet here and point and rotate to bring some movement into the ankles and the feet. Nice deep breaths in and out. From here, bring the knees back together, lengthen, extending the legs, arms over your head. And then bring the hands by your side, arms by your side, bend the knees. Let's take the gaze to the right side. And then from here, take that left arm and bring it into a cactus arm. Then gently lower that arm, take the gaze back to center and take it to the opposite side, the left side, and then find your cactus arm on your right side. Nice deep breath in and out. Let's bring the gaze back to center, bring both arms into cactus. This time taking the gaze over to the right side. An option here if you want to leave the knees bent or take a butterfly position, bring the soles of the feet together. So whatever feels good on the lower half of your body, find what's comfortable for you, whether legs extended, bent, or butterfly, whatever works. And whatever's helping you feel better in the position that you're in. Take another deep breath here. Bring the gaze back to center, and then we're going to take the gaze over to the left side. You'd be amazed. You feel like you're not doing anything because you're on your back and you're just lying here, but you're actually doing something. Your body will feel it and thank you afterwards. All right, from here, let's bring the gaze back to center. We're going to rotate those palms, so keep them right where they are, but we're going to reach down, and the shoulders are going to rotate forward. So you're going to feel those shoulders lift off of the mat, and then gently rotate those arms back
into cactus. So notice the shoulder rotation there. So we're creating space in the upper body by bringing the shoulders to rotate. So bring those palms back down and palms come back up. So if there's a little limitation in the movement here, that's okay. Just go as far as it feels comfortable for you. So if the palms down brings you just above the floor, that's okay too. So do what's comfortable for you. Same with cactus arms. If the outsides of the hands aren't reaching the floor, it's okay. So gentle rotations here. Nice deep breaths. Rotating the arms up and exhale, rotate the arms down. So the awareness that comes in here is, what are you feeling in your shoulders? What are you feeling in your arms? What are you feeling in your back? So let's do 2 more rotations. Inhaling and exhaling as one rotation. And then last breath. And on the exhale, complete the rotation, bringing the palms down towards the earth. And then if you've taken the legs from just bent knees, extend them, and then bring the arms over your head for that full body stretch. Stretch in both directions, and then on the exhale, drop the hands, arms by your side, bend the knees. And let's windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And actually, so you can take your arms by your side, or if it feels better for you to take your arms into a T and windshield wiper, you get a little bit more space to rotate the hips back and forth when you open up the arms. So all up to you. And then bring the knees back to center. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So arms are by your side like we're in bridge pose. Feet are nice and flat. And it's going to be a minimal movement of the hips. On the inhale, the hips are going to rotate forward, and you're going to feel your back, your lower back, make contact with your mat or floor. On the exhale, the hips are going to rotate posteriorly or rotate back and create an arch in the spine. Inhale, tilt the hips forward, getting a nice little stretch in the lower back. Exhale, gently tilt the hips back. Nice deep breaths in and out with your movement. Let the movement flow with your breath at your own pace. Doesn't have to match mine. It's all your own. And if you ever feel like you're not breathing right, you're not. You're breathing just the way you need to breathe. So don't judge yourself, oh, I'm not breathing right, or I'm not breathing at the right pace. That's okay. Just guide your breath and what feels good to you. But allow the breath to suspend and be long so that you can lengthen the movements in the time that you're in the movements. So let's do 2 more breaths here. And 1 more. And then let's lift the feet, bring the knees to chest. Again, gently side to side swing. Rotations with the knees, hands on the knees as we rotate to one side. And opposite side. And then let's take that full body stretch, arms over the head. Legs long, extend and reach in opposite directions. Feel that length in the front body, back body. And then let's reach for that right knee. Bring that right knee to chest, flex both feet. Little tuck of the chin to keep the spine in neutral position. And then with that right foot, flex, point, and rotate. From here, extend that left arm long, palm facing up or down, all up to you. So just depends on what you want to feel. If you take the palm down, again, the shoulders rotating in. If you take the palm up, it's rotating out, creating more space in the pecs and the chest area. Nice deep breath in. Guide that right knee to the right side of the body. You can flex both feet. And from here, take the gaze over to the left side. One more breath. And then bring that knee back to center, give it a nice squeeze. And release to a full body stretch. Nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, reach for that left knee to chest. Flex both feet. A little tuck of the chin. Extend that right arm out, either palm up or palm down, all up to you, and then guide that left leg to the left side body. Feel that length through the right leg. So notice here, that left leg is reaching outward laterally, so you're creating different space on the left side, and as you lengthen through that right leg, you're creating space differently on the right side. Then take the gaze over to the right side. And then take it in the opposite direction. Take the gaze over to the left side. Let's bring that knee back to center. Gaze comes back to center. Squeeze that knee in. Full body stretch. And then from here, let's gently, so to keep the lower back at ease, what we're going to do is instead of rocking up and down like we usually do, we're going to roll over to our right side. So we're going to lift the hips up and take those hips to the right side, bend the knees, and roll over like you do in bed. You can cradle the head. Just for a moment, take a breath here, noticing what you feel in your body. And then take the hands, and that right hand's going to gently, let's see, I said roll over to the right side. So my left hand, your left hand, my right hand is going to gently come up. So I'm going to walk my hands up. So that's a safe way that you can get out of bed, is rolling over to your right or to your side and walking up and then throwing the legs over the side to save your back. That's a good way to get out of bed. All right, so we're going to come to seated. Now let's bring the soles of the feet together, give some space to the hips, come into butterfly, little bind around the toes, and gently butterfly the legs. And then come to stillness and walk the buttocks towards the hips. And butterfly. And on the breath, lengthen through the crowns. Create that length through the arms, shoulders back. Pull the navel in. On the next breath, a gentle hinge over, just as far as it's comfortable for you. So you don't have to go very far. So keep the length in the spine before you round in. So you keep that neutral spine. Pull the navel in. So notice when you pull the navel in, what you feel in the hips. So you begin to feel the flexors, the psoas, some deep muscles in there. Now, if you want to round in, you can round in if that's comfortable for you. If not, keep the length in the spine.
and then gently release. Extend the legs out and gently begin to just flutter the legs. And then we're going to bend them to one side and find our tabletop position. So if you want a nice stretch to the feet, you can curl your toes under, find your knees underneath your hips, or you can take the feet flat. Let the hands be underneath the shoulders, stacking them over, shoulders over the wrists. Again, toes can curl in just depending on what you want to feel, or can be flat. Let's cat-cow here. On the inhale, the belly's going to drop towards the earth. You're going to tilt the tail and take the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, we're going to round in, tucking the tail. Chin's going to move towards the chest and then round in. Inhale, taking the belly towards the earth, taking the gaze up, tilting the tail. Exhale, gently rounding in. Chin moves towards the chest, tail tucks. Continue. Taking a nice deep breath in as you extend the spine. Exhale as you round in. And you can gently bend the elbows or press the mat away. And when you're ready, meeting me back in tabletop, completing your breath. Shift the hips side to side when you're there. And then we're going to take the hips into a circle. Circle, circle. And the body's shifting back and shifting forward. What feels good to you. You can do little circles or big circles. Or any movement of the hips that feel comfortable to you. So I'm going to take it in the opposite direction. About 5 on each side. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, let's find a puppy pose. So if your toes aren't curled under already, and let's curl the toes under, we're going to reach in front of us, palms nice and flat, and then we're going to gently take the hips back and melt the heart towards the mat. Maybe your third eye touches, but if your head isn't coming all the way down, you can support your head with a block, just so. You can tent the fingers here if that feels good and reach those wrists forward while you reach those hips back. Pull the navel in. And as you reach those hips back towards the heels, just really feel that spine lengthen. And if it gets intense, you can bring those shoulders into their sockets. Feel those shoulder blades in the upper back. Gently slide downward. From here, gently, let's walk the hands back towards us and bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's find a child's pose. So this may or may not feel good. It's not always. I love this pose, but not everybody loves it. So create space with the knees by bringing the knees to the width of the mat. So you're creating space for the body. And then you can extend the arms forward and let the heart melt towards the mat. Take the third eye towards the mat. Option here, you can take those arms back behind you, just letting them rest. And if the width of the knees doesn't feel good, bring the knees closer together and you can find your child's pose this way. You can drape over your thighs or extend your arms.
So personally for me, I like creating space for my body, so I love wide-legged child's pose. And feel your hands nice and wide on the mat. And what I'd like you to feel is how those hands are, you're going to press those hands away as you shift those hips back towards the heels. So without moving your palms, you're pressing away the mat as you're reaching those hips towards the heels. Now let's take the left cheek to the mat. You can relax the arms here. And then draw that left hip towards the left thigh, left heel. Left hip towards left heel. And on the next breath, take the right cheek to the mat. Right hip towards the right heel. And then bring the head back to center. From here, gently lift the body up. We're going to take that right hand underneath the left and take a little shoulder stretch. So option 2, just gently bring the head down, or again, support it with a block. And just find that stretch where you want to feel it. So if it's too intense, just gently adjusting. Micro movements make a big difference. So when you just even shift a little bit, you can feel a big difference. Find what's comfortable for you and meeting your body where it is right now. And if this gets too intense, you're always welcome to get out of it sooner than I get out of it. Right now, I'm going to get out of it. Take that right hand underneath, out back, and place it in front of you. And you're going to switch sides, taking that left hand underneath the right. Again, the rotation of the palm is up to you. So you can take that palm up or down, just depending on what you want to feel in that shoulder. Nice deep breaths in and out. Last breath here. And then gently lifting back up. Slide that right hand back. Take a gentle bow. And then walk those hands towards your knees. Knees come back to about hip distance apart. And come back to your tabletop. So let's adjust the knees underneath the hips. The hands underneath the shoulders. And I'm going to give you another option here so you can take that left leg up, point the toes down, and keep it nice and lifted, or you can ground those toes and press through the heel to get that calf stretch. Scoot. So again, option to lift and lengthen through the heel or ground the toes and press through the heel. Then if your toes are grounded, lift the leg, bend the knee, and we're going to circle the hip. And then take it in the opposite direction. When you're ready, extend that leg long, point the toes down, and we're going to reach with that left arm. So we're stretching both hemispheres of the body, the upper right, left side, lower right side. Again, playing with the opposites, lower
and upper hemispheres, and then gently bring that hand back. Everything comes back to your tabletop, and then shift the hips left and right. How are we doing? Good. All right, let's switch sides. Again, option to ground the toes and press, or stay nice and lifted. Taking those toes to point down towards the floor, towards the earth. If you're grounding the toes, inhale and lift the leg up. Bend the knee and circle the hip. And then opposite direction. And then extend that leg long when you're ready. Right arm's gonna lengthen. Pull the navel in. So notice what you feel when you pull the navel in. Those lower back muscles are working too. Mid back and upper back. Bring everything back to your table. Shift left and right. All right, let's find our down dog. So we're going to come back to center, curl the toes under, and press into your down dog. Getting into those hamstrings. And then walk your dog. If this feels uncomfortable, find your forward fold. That's where we're going. Press the heart towards the thighs. Keep the ears in line with the arms. Gazing between the ankles. Soles, heels do not have to touch the floor. And then let's lift the heels and bend the knees. Switch the gaze between the hands. And then we're going to walk the feet to meet our hands. Come to a forward fold. Ragdoll here, and just letting your body gently release. Releasing your lower back by bending the knees as much as it feels good. And then maybe bending one knee after the other, or lifting one heel after the other. Nice deep breath in, and allow the body to feel heavy. Head feels heavy. You can take a sway or a bind, elbow to elbow if that feels good. Pull the navel in and notice how that changes the stretch. You can release your hands, let your arms dangle. On the next breath, let's bring the hands to the shins and lengthen the spine through the crown. Draw those shoulders back away from the ears, pull the navel in. Let's root to rise, come all the way up. Arms are going to come up, palms are going to touch, and palms are going to come to heart. So take a moment here just to notice what you feel in your body after all those movements on the mat. Notice what is speaking to you. Soften the gaze. Or gently close the eyes. Maybe you notice you feel a little bit taller. Beautiful. On the next breath, gently fluttering the eyes open, let's reach up. And let's take a gentle arch over to the left side. And then come back to center and arch over to the right. And then gently floating the hands back to center, float the arms down, roll the shoulders. And then roll them forward. All right, let's come into a little back bend. We're going to bring the hands to the low back, just to the hollow of the back. Feet are about hip distance apart. Navel pulled in, gazing forward. Gently drop the head back and press the hips forward. So there's a little compression happening here. And then gently, slowly come back up. Now take a little wider step. Press the hips forward. And then take the gaze up to the sky. And then gently come back to center. Take a wider step. And you guys can, if you want to switch the length of the mat, you can. You're welcome to move however it feels comfortable to you. And then toes are pointing forward, parallel to each other. Take a nice deep breath in. Take the gaze up. Gently press the hips forward, and we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. Gently coming all the way down. Watch the horizon disappear. And once you see the horizon disappear, lower the hands underneath the shoulders. Lower the head. Strength through the legs. This is going to feel a little bit intense in the legs, in the hamstrings. And then gently you can shift forward and back as it feels comfortable to you. Again, you can use a block to support your forward fold. And then awareness to the weight shift. Let's bring the weight a little bit towards the toes. Crown towards the earth. Option here to reach for the outsides of the feet. Step on your fingers. On the next breath, lengthen through the crown. And then exhale, take that forward fold again. So if you're feeling tight in the hamstrings, this will probably feel intense. Go easy. And then let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Take a gentle half lift here, lengthen through the crown. Then we're going to bend over to the right side, walk the hands, and take a little dip. Snap, crackle, pop. And a gentle lift of the body, gazing forward. So you're right over that right knee. And then we're going to walk the hands back. So we're taking that abductor stretch. Oops, snap. And taking it over to the left side. I have very loud knees. Always that. And then let's walk back to center and repeat. And then gently rock back. Extend that right leg. And then walk back to center and lift the hips up. Come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Let's bring the hands back to the low back. Ground through the feet, through the legs, and gently lift all the way back up. Take the gaze up. And release the arms. Arms come back, gaze comes forward. Palms touch and palms come to heart. So let's take a warrior stance here, coming into a warrior two, another hip opener, and let's extend the arms. So we're over to pivoting that right foot, or wherever you are, and then let's just take a gentle reach. Back, and then come back to your warrior two. Gently just noticing where your arms are in space, soft shoulders, pull the navel in. Inhale the arms up,
pivot that right foot, pivot that left foot, and come down to your left side. Inhale, reach back for your reverse warrior with that left arm. And then find your warrior two. Check your arms in space. Arms are going to come back up. And then we're going to gently float those arms down. Bring them to the heels, to the hips, and then bring them to the heels, and then heel toe back. Okay. So let's find the top of the mat. Find your mountain pose. Inhale the arms up. Swan dive down, forward fold. Slow, 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 forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins to lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms. We're going to step back with both feet. Bring both knees down. And then find your down dog. Curl the toes under. Shift to down dog. And then shift forward. Find your plank. Beautiful. From here, drop the knees. Uncurl the toes. Walk your hands back towards the knees. We're going to do some breath work and movement. On the inhale, we're going to reach up. On the exhale, we're going to take a bow and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow, and inhale, reach. Exhale. Two more. One more. Reach back up. Float the arms down, float the hips down, shift the hips to one side, and swing the legs around, shift to the middle of the mat. All right, back to the floor we go. Hands on the knees. You can walk the feet towards you to gently take yourself back down. Give yourself a nice squeeze. A little rock side to side. And let's get into supine pigeon. So let's bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Take that right angle to the left thigh. Weave the hands through the legs. Interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh. Flex both feet. On the next breath, begin to gently pull that left thigh towards you. And slight tuck of the chin, releasing the shoulders to the mat. And if it feels okay to you, you can gently use that right elbow to press that right thigh away. Use your breath here. It's a very intense sensation, so move into it compassionately. But notice with your breath as the intensity begins to release, you can begin to draw that left thigh more towards you. Now, if you want to bring a little rock into it, you can. Or you can rotate the ankles. All depends on the movement you want to explore, or you can just find your stillness. Relax the shoulders. Notice what happens when you pull the navel in. One more breath. Maybe draw the thigh a little closer and release. Windshield wiper side to side. And then switch sides. Left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Weave the hands through the legs. Interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh. Flex both feet. Slight tuck of the chin and begin to gently draw that right thigh towards you. So use your breath, release the jaw, release any tightening in the face, drop the shoulders, draw your abdomen in, and see what it feels like as you exhale, draw the abdomen in. And then any movement you would like to make, a rock side to side or a twirl at the ankles. Find your stillness. One more breath and release. Soles of the feet back to the mat. Windshield wiper back. Let's take the arms by our sides and gently take those knees to the right side. Take the gaze over to the left. One more breath and switch sides. Taking the knees to the left side, gaze over to the right side. Knees come back to center. Take the legs up to the sky. Option here for a supported legs up the wall by taking a block and or a pillow and taking the hips up. Arms can be by your side or you can take them to a half T. So you're welcome to stay here for any final movements you would like to add to your practice to find your stillness in Shavasana. So any kind of movement you would like to make. If you want to bring the legs back down, removing the block, you're welcome to do that. Or you can stay with legs up toward the sky, arms by your side, or any stretch. You can take a full whole body stretch before you decide to go into your Shavasana. Let everything go and allow your body to rest. Maybe tucking your shoulders underneath your body, opening up your palms as your shoulders rotate outward. Feeling that collarbone expand. Let your toes fall open. You're welcome to close your eyes. Come back to your breath. Feeling supported all the way from your heels to the back of your head. Feeling that loving support. Remembering that your practice, your yoga practice, is always there to support you. I'm going to begin to shift so I can guide my students out of Shavasana, but you stay right there as long as you would like.
Let's gently begin to bring back movement, wiggling the toes and the fingers. When you're ready, rolling over to your right side or your left side, all up to you. Cradling your head, giving yourself a moment before you begin to walk the body back up to seated. Meeting me here at seated with our hands at the heart center to seal class together today. Please join me in bringing our prayer hands up to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life fully with love, joy, inner strength, courage, kindness, respect, and lots of grace. May our thoughts, words, and actions always be heart-led and divinely guided. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.